People talk about the weather affecting our work, and of course the rain affects our work. But a wind like today will also affect our work and be able to flying things with the crane and just moving things around the job site, particularly our hoisting though. We can shut cranes down a day like today. We're here to talk about the update in the stadium. I've got Gary Garrison with me here from Downtown Glass, and Gary's going to talk about the glass systems in the building a little bit as we're trying to get dried in. If you can see, the EIFS has made a lot of progress here. Gary's got all of his frames put in for his storefront on the suites levels over here. And also in the tower, he's got the curtain wall system going in the tower. So I'm going to let Gary talk a little bit about that.
Thank you, sir. The frames you see in the finished EIFS are storefront systems. It's just a flush glaze. You just slide it in the pocket, bring it back, put the rubber on it, and you're through with it. It drains down into a seal pan, which allows the water to come to the outside. In the tower, you can see the curtain wall system. You can still see we've got two pieces of glass to put in. We're waiting on those. It's a pressure bar system that encapsulates the glass completely, and then you get a colored member to finish out the frame. And then we're going straight on over to where the EIFS is not finished. They're working on it right now. As soon as they get through with it, we'll be putting those frames in and putting glass in those.
We're going to go up on top and take a little closer look at some of the details of that system in a little bit. For now, let's head on down to the north side and just check out the progress in the two north towers. Okay, looking at tower number 2, you can see they're putting the EIFS on tower number 2, framing up for the curtain wall system between the two parts of the tower. And as soon as we get all that work done, then Downtown Glass will come in with their glass and glazing systems. As we progress more to the north here, so we've got a ways to go on the framing in the center of the building. This next tower, tower number 3, we've got the block work all up full height now, getting ready to start brickwork on it. We're actually installing the stairs in the tower right now. Once the stairs are installed, we'll be able to get the masons in there. With all the cutting and welding that's going on, it's difficult to have anybody else work underneath them. The next area here, we've got the brick going up on tower number 4. So we're about halfway up with the brick on tower number 4 now. That crew will go on to tower number 3 when they're done. Let's go upstairs and take a little closer look at some of the curtain wall framing system.
This is the curtain wall system that you're looking at from the inside. Okay. You can see that it's tied to the steel at the head of the frame, which is the top of the frame. And then if you look at the center beam, you can see standout brackets that go to each vertical member that gives it the strength in the middle, but still allows the frame to expand and contract, since it is such a large span.
He's got the temporary aluminum brackets, and those two pieces of glass aren't in yet. He's got some temporary aluminum brackets that will hold the glass in when they first set it, and then they'll come back afterwards and they'll put the vertical and horizontal outside strips on the glass that will actually seal it in there permanently. We've got the escalators in place right here. All of our escalators are set right now. We're just waiting to get dried in so we can uncover them and actually put them into service. So this tower is getting pretty close to being dried in right here. We're putting the roof on it right now. We finished up this glass right here, and we'll be able to start finishing some things up inside here. Let's go take a look at the storefront system, get a little closer look at the storefront. We're on the arena connection level here, or actually the lower club level. This is the first level that looks out over the field where the coaches' offices are. And we've got some of the storefront installed in the coach's office. It doesn't have the glass in it yet. And you can kind of see the difference in those two systems.
Hey, this is our storefront system. It's a flush glaze system sitting on a seal pan like I've got in my hand. Our frame sits on top, gets sealed so that it's waterproof, and it sits underneath our frame. Here, as you can see, our frame is still loose. We haven't fastened it down yet, and we haven't got our rubber run before we set our glass. Our glass is a flush glaze, which means you've got a deep pocket and a shallow pocket. You slide it back into the deep pocket, and then you center it up into the shallow pocket and run your inside rubber. It's watertight. It does a pretty good system, and it just looks good. It's all shimmed up, level, plumb, ready to go. All we have to do is just finish it.
This is actually one of the coaches' offices right here. We're on the lower club level. So the coaches' offices will all have their own balcony out in front of the coach's office where their family can watch the game. There'll be some doors down farther there. Actually, the coach's offices actually start down there where you have doorway openings coming out onto the patio area out front. So we'll go take a look at the suites level, see what the view is from up there, and then talk a little bit about the guardrail, the glass guardrail that goes in front. They're putting some of the base in for the guardrail up on the suites level in front of the TEPCO windows. We can talk about some of the TEPCO windows up there too. So we'll head up to the suites level now. We're up on the suites level right now, the upper suites level, and we're looking at the TEPCO windows. The TEPCO windows are the motor-operated windows. They actually operate as a bypass window. The lower pane of glass actually lifts up to the same location as the upper pane glass, so you can get the game day atmosphere and the weather and the sense of the game from the suites area if you want to. If you look up above, there's a motor operator, very similar to a garage door opener, I guess. Up above, there's cables that come down and attach onto each window. Pulley system, all controlled from this operator up here. So you flip a switch, it lifts the windows up. They hit a limit switch, stop when they get all the way up, and another switch and they go all the way down. And when you have the windows open for game day, you have to be careful about falling out of the window. So there has to be a guardrail down there, a glass guardrail system. You need a glass system you can look through. So we use a channel, a Blumcraft type channel. I forget the manufacturer of this one. Who's the manufacturer of this channel?
C.R. Lawrence.
Okay, a C.R. Lawrence channel down the bottom that you can actually set the glass in and makes a guardrail system. That's being installed further down the way here. And we'll go take a look at that just to see what that channel looks like and how the guardrail glass fits in there.
This is our handrail base. You can see it's a heavy-duty aluminum channel. It's used in handrails in almost every building in Oklahoma City. I mean, it's well used and well recognized. It's made by C.R. Lawrence.
This is a guardrail system, so you can actually stand a piece of glass up in it without having a top frame or a side frame around it. It kind of cantilevers up there, and that's what we wanted here in the suites area, so there's no line of sight issues. You can just stand that up. We'll see how this piece is installed down the way here a little bit.
This is a handrail base that's being put down now. It's fastened every 12 inches on center with a 1/2 inch bolt going through the steel. It's a kind of a tedious little process, but it does the job. It will hold anything you want to put in it.
Let's take a look over here on the looking out to the west, as long as we're at this high elevation vantage point, and take a look at some other work going on campus here. Are you ready? We're looking down from the suites area of the west end zone right now, looking down on Hall of Fame. They are working on the subgrade of Hall of Fame right now. The last couple of weeks of weather haven't helped them any, but they're making good progress again today. And the goal is to have Hall of Fame open by the end of August. So a lot of people in Stillwater will be happy to hear that. Continue to look on to the west. You can see the parking garage structure over there. Looking through one of our scaffold supports there, but the intermodal facility is making good progress. You know when they're scheduled to open, Greg?
I have no idea.
I think they're scheduled to open for the school year here. It should be a great facility for the campus. Be able to park cars in there and take the shuttle buses around the campus, as well as buses coming in from out of town will drop off there. So it's a great idea for the campus. For the 08 football season, our plan is to try and get a parking lot put in here on the west side of the stadium, so we can go take a look at some of the work going on out there. We're basically moving all of our operation out of this area, putting in underground piping, storm drain piping, just getting ready to do our grading and put in a parking lot over here on the west side of the stadium. We're going to leave our offices right where they are for the time being, probably until the 2009 football season, and we'll see how it goes from there. Okay, this is the south side of the site. You can see the ramp that comes up out of the basement of the stadium. It's going to eventually hook up to Washington Street. We're going to get that done for the 08 football season. So you'll see the ramp connecting to Washington Street. A lot of work will happen on the west side of Cordell Hall this summer. We're putting in underground utilities right now, just trying to clear all of our stuff off of the site, get the site cleaned up. We're going to make a big parking lot right here. All the donors that are parking in the south and north side suites will be able to park over here if they want to. Just generally trying to clean things up. By the time the football season comes around in 08, we should have all the site work cleaned up. We should have the exterior to the building pretty well done. Most levels will be dried in. We may have a little bit of work to do on the north side to dry in the very north end of the suites area. But we're making good progress. Weather holds up. We'll get this parking lot done and be ready for football in 08. We're going to thank Gary for his participation in the video here and let him go now and get back to work. But we're going on the basement and give you a little update on what's going on in the basement. So, Gary, thanks for your help.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Gary's got a lot of work on his shoulders here. They have a contract of about $1.25 million for this glass system out here. So he's got a lot of work on his shoulders, and we appreciate his work out here.
Thank you.
This is the corridor leading from the locker room to the main hallway in the stadium down in the basement right now. You can see we've got some tile put up here, and some of the soffit framing is in. We've done a lot more framing down here, a lot more electrical and mechanical work. It's not really obvious progress from our previous videos, but a lot of work's gone in place anyway. We're getting dried in down here. We'll probably start putting sheetrock in by the end of the month, and things will start changing fast down here. We'll start putting sheetrock in. We're supposed to have our air conditioning on by the end of the month, and sometime in the month of May get our dehumidification with our heating system. So that'll allow us to proceed with a lot of finishes. If we go off to the right here, we're going to get into the hydrotherapy area where the hydrotherapy pools are, the hot and cold water pools, as well as the treadmill pool. We'll go take a little closer look at that. Okay, this pool right here is the treadmill pool. They'll actually be able to have a treadmill in the bottom of the pool. They'll be able to adjust the water level to, I guess if the water's chest deep, a guy has some buoyancy and it takes a little load off the joints, and the person can walk, exercise a knee or an ankle injury by walking on the treadmill without having the full weight on the joint that's in question. So as the therapy goes on, the ankle gets stronger, knee gets stronger. They'll lower the water level, which puts more weight on the joint and exercises the joint a little better. To the left here, we've got a couple of concrete pools, hydrotherapy pools. One's a cold water pool, the other one's a hot water pool. There's actually 3 separate pools that are covered up, and we're just working overhead, so you can't see much of them. But the pools have been installed, and we're just waiting to get the overhead work done and start putting ceilings in, and we'll start cleaning this area up a little bit. This whole area here, if you scan around, is the area they tape people up and do massage muscles and that type of thing after a good workout. With some doctor offices over here, rooms where they'll see patients in here for various injuries, or during a game they can come in here and analyze a person's injury and see what it's like, see what the guy's condition is, if he can get back on the field or not. The entrance to the field is just off to the left over here. That's where a bullet will come out. The team will actually come out the other side. This is the south entrance to the field. The team will actually come out of the locker room and go out through the north entrance to the field. Okay, are we ready? This is the team theater area. This is in the back northwest corner of the stadium, and on the field level. This is where the whole team can gather for meetings. They'll have 250 seats in here for a whole team to come here and watch a movie before the game, or if they want to watch film as a total team, they can. Also, they'll have press conferences in here after the football games. All the satellite hookups are here, so they can hook their cameras up and connect up to a satellite link here in this room, and it'll send the signal off to Oklahoma City or Tulsa. The real nice finishes in here. Probably one of the nicest theaters, and for certainly in Stillwater, probably in Oklahoma. Nice big comfortable leather seats and wood finishes in the wall. Just a real nice theater area. Stadium seating, obviously. I think that pretty much finishes up our tour of the basement here. It's hard to see the progress down here until we start putting sheetrock in. When we start getting sheetrock in, we'll come down here and do a little more filming. But for now, let's go take a look out in the field and look back at the progress of the inner part of the bowl from the field. And then we'll wrap this up. We're down on the field now, about the 20-yard line, looking up at the west end zone project. If you're here for the spring game, you probably saw most of this. We've got a lot more scaffolding up now, though. We're continuing the EIFS on from the south to the north, bringing the glass window system on behind it, and just trying to get it all finished out. So our goal is that by the time the fans show up in September for the first football game out here, This will look like it's pretty well completed and be dried in on this side. Thank y'all again for stopping by to see our little video here, and we'll try to do another one in about a month and keep you guys posted. Go Pokes!